Yo, what's up, Chirico? What's up, Vicky? What's up, Alfie? What's up, guys? Merry pre-Christmas? Pre-Christmas? Merry pre-Christmas, guys? Is it Pada Day again? It's a good question. I didn't think about that. Oh, Firekeeper, what's up, Narc? What's up, Mozzarella? What's up, Cause? What's up, guys? Alright. Yo, Marco. Yeah, we're gonna be handing out L's today. Gonna do my best for that. Maybe for Christmas we should use TS exclusively. Maybe this should be a Trusting Sword stream. Either Trusting Sword or like whatever best weapon there is for the situation. TS BHS only? Yeah. Verdi Grinch? Dude, that's great. The Verdi Grinch, bro. The Verdi Grinch. That's actually so good. Maybe we should just spam this, but strength build is not like high damage for this though. Maybe what I should do is double Christmas tree spears is appropriate. Yeah, if I had the build for it, that's pretty good too. Double Christmas tree spears, dude. Any excuse is good to use meta stuff. Hope you're ending out a lot of coal for the Elden Ring kids. Oh man. I think they're under us. Be like, yep. There. Let's go into the death trap for our first invasion. Wait, this actually goes a little further here. Oh. I rolled it though. Oh fuck. Whoa! Alright. No blue too. Killed the over level. Oh man, this is bad. there's a pathway there. Well, first invasion, guys. Let's just say if I had anything else but like decked out meta, I was dead there. That was a foul start. That was a nasty start. Yo, Firekeeper, thanks for the gifted, man. Thanks a lot, dude. Merry Christmas to you too. I thought Ender would be the play because we were like close, but because the guy was, you know, close to max level or max level, he was just doing too much damage. Too much stuff that was dangerous. Also, it was too skippy. Yeah, it was latent and skipping. I'm glad that he switched out from the fingerprint, because that fingerprint with madness and bleed was quite dangerous. Yo, Firekeeper, thanks for the gifted, man. Holy shit. Thanks a lot. Why am I not tanking this? Should be able to tank it. The holes fell off. Nope, he did it. Wrong thing. Problem with these is I'm not able to tank it somehow. Insane. Come on. Okay, guys. Let's think here. What do we have? Could try to Radon him, I guess. So close. Insane, both of them. Wow, dude. Insane. Put in a soft locked invasion? Yeah, pretty much. That's a good way to put it. I think it's normal that your pussy would be wet after an invasion like that. Understandable. Yo, Alluvial, how you doing, man? As I'm instinctively trying to jump with triangle, I think I've been playing too much Skyrim. Yeah, YouTube comments have been disabled for quite some time now. Because Twitch doesn't allow it, unfortunately. Is Serpent Hunter trash now? Yeah, pretty much. It still has a purpose when used like a one-handed on a PSGS setup. You get the old tracking, so you can find a reason to use it this way. Unfortunate? Not really. was pretty brain dead. Although lance has two-handed lance has taken its place really as brain dead brain dead option. Perhaps even more brain dead now that the fucking hyper armor startup is instant. Actually, is it? No, it's not, because Serpent Hunter hyper armor used to start stupid fast on the crouch attack, not the R2, but the crouch, which is pretty fucking dumb. I remember Marco and I were testing that. Like, you could reaction trade like a katana with the Serpent Hunter crouch attack. Like, you could reaction hyper armor trade it. That's how crazy this was. Like, just on reaction, no prediction, nothing. You just stand there, you wait for the attack, and you just reaction crouch attack, and then hyper armor comes out fast. Oh, come on, no BS. Lap mansion. The real lap. Oh. There's a maging. I jumped that way too early. Come back! Reaper main Smurf. Bro, I felt like I jumped that properly. The fuck? Right, one sec, guys. Alright, we're back. Alright. Yo, pack leader. You're still doing well, dude. You're coming back to the game. Well, PvP-wise, I don't think you're missing out on anything, but you know, this is what we got until the next thing. Spellbound will save us? Bro, Kiriko, stop, dude. That's evil. A lot of people playing right now. I guess you can feel the people being on vacation. There's more activity. And people are picking Elden Ring as their game of choice. That's a rare spot. Rarely invade here. There's one Alberto and one Caturner. When is Tarnished coming out? I think like February next year, something like that. Something like that. Is that? Oh, no. Insane tracking. Okay. Keep hitting rocks. Hyper Armor is so fun. Bear Claw is a very strong pick for invasion because it has that amazing chase down. It's deadly against people with low poise. And you can win Hyper Armor trade versus pretty much anything. Although earlier I'm not really sure. Like we faced a Colossal Sword and I was not able to tank it. I don't know if it's because I was getting attacked by a Great Sword at the same time as a Colossal Sword, but you're supposed to be able to tank that. Because we had the Bulgo Tally, you know, we have the proper armor. I'm not sure what happened earlier. About Tarnished Edition, next Nintendo Direct is February, so probably release date there. Oh, okay. I thought it would release in February, but we're gonna get a release date February. Or they're gonna do a, you know, a release on the day that they announce it type of deal. Is it on Switch too? Tarnished Edition is going to come on every platform, but technically it's a version of the game that was created for Switch 2 with a little bit of extra content, but the extra content is coming to every other platform. So I'm still unsure if it's going to be like paid DLC, as in like you're going to pay like $5 to like get you know, a few armors, a few weapons, or if it's gonna be, you know, just a normal update. I'm still not sure about that. One thing's for sure, though, in the Tarnished Edition, there's gonna be a new starting class that is going to outclass all the starting class that are available right now, and pretty much, for pretty much any build, really. Like, it's the Heavy Knight has very, very optimal starting stat spread that makes for a better starting class for pretty much like strength builds, dex builds, arcane build, you know, fate melee, magic melee. The only thing I don't know if I checked, or at least I don't remember if I checked or not. I'm not sure if it's the best also for pure mage builds or pure caster builds. I'm not sure if it's the best for that. I think for Fate casters, I think the other new starting class might be best, but I didn't actually, you know, like do the numbers. There's really like the biggest reason why the Heavy Knight is best for pretty much all the starting classes is that it has a low arcane, and it also has low mind, and also like low fate and int. But even for Fate or in build, because it has low arcane, low fate and int, and low mind, like no matter which class you're picking, you're going to be winning points either from the lower mind or you're going to be gaining points from like some of these other stats. Fate is baller. We're going to make more builds though with Tarnished, with those new classes dropping. I'm going to crunch the numbers and make a like a new Fate build, a new magic build, a new everything pretty much. That's the idea. Oh, I didn't even need to throw this spot. I should have thrown it at the other guy. Not sure that bot would have made it in time though. They really nerfed the mind stat in Elden Ring? Dude, I was editing a clip the other day of, for those of you who were there, you know, he had some PvEers like spam. What is it? I think it was this one. Spam this at me. But look how much FP this costs. Like, this used basically my whole bar. Do it again. Notice the FP bar? So this cost a lot, and they were spamming that at me for like forever, and I was like, holy shit, like, how much do they have invested in mine? Yo, Cleve, thank you so much for the 37 months, bro. Welcome back, man. Yeah, I was editing that clip the other day, and I found it so funny, like, still crazy how much they spam that shit. Like, that costs so much, too. Like, these PvEers really put points into mine, guys. Like, it's crazy. I think they see mind as like this DPS stat, right? Like PvEers, like they want to deal like damage to the boss, and they see it as like, I'm gonna do more damage if I do my Ash of War, as opposed to you know, putting points into like strength, dex, fate, or intelligence and just getting their damage up, period. Like they see it as more attacks thrown, like more DPS, as opposed to more damage dealt with the other stats, I think. I mean, it has to be, otherwise it's just... I don't want to believe that all these PvEers are just randomly all putting their points there. That doesn't make sense. As a PvE Elden Ring, you mostly do it for support incantations. Yeah, but these guys were not, though. Like, don't get me wrong, like, what you're saying makes too much sense for these people, because what you're saying is basically, like, your character is a support character that heals. Like, that makes perfect sense for that. Because technically you're not... Like you said, you're not even the damage dealer. But yeah, like, you know... Like, we say that. It's not like it's bad to have mind. Like, if your build calls for it, you know, like, whatever mind you need it. It's just that when you compare it to, or when you consider the other stats that they don't invest in, like their build is just so bad with like 99 mind, basically. You know, like obviously, it's fine to put mind if you need it, but you don't want to sacrifice every other stats. Those guys do it to spam all the spells they got in one go. Yeah, you're probably right, honestly. Like, it's probably, like, they use, like, the strongest spells and, like, to spam it, like you said. Like, for them, it's probably too hard to beat a boss if the boss starts attacking them, like, no matter what the boss does. So, their strategy is probably, like, you know, just, try to kill the boss, like, by just spamming a bunch of ranged spells. And the more they can do it, the quicker, like, or the quicker they can use all their big spells, probably the best chance they got at killing a boss, I assume. I don't know. I say that. I've helped plenty of PvEers against bosses. Like, I used to really enjoy... Well, I still enjoy it, but I haven't done it in a while. Used to really enjoy, like, randomly putting my sign down for boss co-op battles. And just doing my very best to carry, like, terrible players through bosses. It's actually a lot of fun. And notably, I remember, like, some Moog ones. When I did some Moog ones, man, there was this guy that had 600 HP. And he kept resummoning me. And he was basically dying in, like... he was basically dying in one hit. Like, sometimes two, depending on the hit. But... we did manage to kill the boss. And I had to work my ass off to, like, keep doing uplifting aromatic, like, near him, and basically keep him alive that way, while damaging the boss. Like, I was doing my very best to kill the boss as quickly as possible. Like, I had the boss, like, rotted, poisoned, frosted, and then all the while, like, trying to keep this poor scrub alive, and managing my own HP, too. But after a few tries, we did it. That was fun, though. Like, even though, like, some people get frustrated when they play with bad players, I see it as a challenge when I have to get their ass through the finish line, you know what I mean? It's a lot of fun. Yo, Shark, thanks for the gifted, bro. Thanks a lot, man. Might as well chainsaw the boss out of courtesy. It's not the same, like chainsawing, like, it's funny for the meme, but it really is a detriment to the game, like, in every conceivable way, really. I had some invasions like that too against the fire giant, where the guy had, like, you know, 800 or 600 HP. Those are honestly the most fun, but you know, there's not that many ways you can win those. Like, you have to use uplifting aromatic. There's no, like, other way around it. Like, you have to use it. It's the only way to keep these guys alive, otherwise they'll die. And usually most of them don't do any significant damage. Like, you wonder where they put their stats. Actually, they probably put it into mind, as a matter of fact. Sometimes some of them have this setup where they'll just, like, unleash a bunch of damage at the start with, like, a infinite blue flask, and just, like, a quick instance of, like, spamming as much spell as they can. That's useful. Like, I've had some invasions with PvEers like that, coupled with, like, my status damage, with, like, the frost proc, and very often if I'm fighting a boss for PvE, I'll be using, like, some sort of status setup. Like, I like, you know, like raptor talons, you know, with bleed, or something that has, like, very fast status build up with bleed, poison, or frost. And sometimes when you have, like, PvEers that actually have, like, the proper setup. He's not even dead. Wow. I'm happy that he came back. Because, yeah, like, they'll unleash, like, a bunch of damage at the start, and then I'll do my thing. And then, depending on how much DPS they're doing, we might actually be able to kill the boss like during the whatever transformation animation phase that the boss has, and we're basically like shredding through like a boss phase or something like that. It's a lot of fun to do that too. Obviously though, it goes to show that if you were to like really like set up and communicate with someone you know and try your best to beat X or Y boss, I think there's probably a way to like kill bosses extremely quickly with like an instant stun lock. Yo, Reef, thanks for the 10 gifted, bro. Holy shit, man. Thank you so much, Reef. Thanks a lot, man. Merry Christmas to you too, dude. Yo, Soda. Merry Christmas, bro. So you know who I was thinking of when I made that title? I was thinking of Treason. Treason always used to say fucking handing out L's and shit. Treason's a dumb bitch. Still talk to him? He came back like a few years ago to say hi, you know, but I don't really talk to anyone from the old days, like not regularly. Like they sometimes like you see some of them like come by to say hi here and there. Like, you know, I've seen Hartley come by say hi. I've seen Confusion come by say hi. You know, like Cloud9. Reason came by also like a few years ago. Storm came by. You know, like it's really nice though. Like, you know, obviously everyone's doing their thing nowadays, but I actually enjoyed that time with Rainbow, honestly. Treason's a dumb bitch, bro. So stupid. See, so like I think that's one of the thing I miss. Like I can't say that here. You know, like the mentality of the people and like, you know, communities like the Souls community, like I can't say that. Like people will get offended by that. He said dumb bitch, dude. It would hate you? Oh yes, yeah. You would be a martyr, Soda. What are you using? Oh boy. Yo, he tanked the first part like what, 4 times? Bro, this guy. To be fair though, Soda, like the people on Twitch here are also not like the brain dead bunch from the most of the people playing the game, like playing Elden Ring. At least he landed a blow. Well, you know, you want to see the positive. Yeah, the people here are cool, Soda, like, yeah. Like, usually the people that you see in Twitch chat are usually, like, people who've been here for, like, you know, like, at least a year for the most part. It's very rare that there's newcomers. Because usually they get banned. Very active today? Yeah, clearly, like, you can feel the holidays, like, holiday break type activity. Yo, I couldn't lock on. Oh, that's because it's an enemy. Newcomers always start mounting up. Yeah, I mean, usually, to be fair, like, the community is so small. It's like, if there's people, like, interested in my stuff, you know, they've already been here for a while, basically. Because, you know, I've been around for a while now at this point, you know, since Dark Souls 3 and the start of Elden Ring, so... You know, like, most people in the community know me, whether they like me or not, so... If they like my stuff, you know... They're either already here, or they moved on to, like, other things that they prefer, or whatever. But obviously, I don't really appeal to casuals. Try to converse with the YouTube chat. Yeah, the YouTube chat, though, so that's another story. There's a few people that are basically, like, normal folks. But, like, that's where you see the, the lowest IQ most of the time. Sometimes you get some of the dumbest fucking comments there. YouTube, Reddit, Twitter, all fucking morons. Yeah, I agree. That's why I don't really use socials, honestly. Like, obviously I use YouTube because, you know, post vids and shit, but... Like, I don't really engage in comments. Even, like, on my channel, I try to reduce it as much as possible. I try to only answer the, you know, people with legit, like, questions or good comments. I don't always read, like, all the comments, but I don't get that many to, like, you know, be it, like, time-consuming or anything. You discovered my channel by typing best Dark Souls 3 player. The title of your vid was World Champion versus Unskilled Gankers. To be fair, that's true though. Like in Dark Souls 3, like, you know, like people can say what they want, but I had the best content, I had the best fights. You could argue I was the best at invading, best at dueling. Maybe some people prefer, like, another player, but for the most part, like, I was the one-stop shop for Dark Souls 3 tryhard stuff. I even shaped how people played the game. That's how crazy it was. But, you know, I don't play anymore, so... Whoever still remains, you know, gets the crown by default now. Not sure who still plays nowadays. Last time I heard B-Dubs and Assassin was still playing here and there, but that was a little while ago, so... I know Grim still plays here and there as well. Thing is, like, you know, don't get me wrong, like, I love the Dark Souls 3, but at some point, like, you have to move on from what you're doing. You can't just do the same thing, like, over and over and over again for years. He got blocked by his friend. Dude, that bleed axe does damage, man. What's great about it is when they have a lot of HP, right? Like, and they want to mindlessly trade with you. Very often, and I say that because that happened to me at some point. It's like you'll be careful about, like, trading so that you don't get killed, like, looking at your HP bar. But sometimes, especially with less experienced players, you don't pay attention to both the bleed bar and your HP bar. So, like, you're trading and you're making sure your HP bar doesn't get, like, into, like, you're gonna lose, like, trading type territory. But very often they'll get bled, and then, you know, it will get some big chunky damage to basically, like, kill them off, whereas they were only looking at their HP bar. I don't know if you... I think I said it, like, pretty poorly, but I don't know if you guys know what I mean. like watching me from the honesty and tryharding. Yeah, thanks. I think that's what describes me the most. Like, I pretty much say what's on my mind for the better or worse. With that being said, though, I do try, and I did try, and I still do try to manage or control what I'm saying as much as possible, like, you know. Because the problem is, like, I'll start, like, insulting people because they're either dumb or they're bad, or... But you can't say that, you know, it's gonna hurt them, and it doesn't do me any good to say that, even though I think it. And so that's I think that's one of the factors that hindered the growth of the channel. Now, you know, like, now when we talk about channel growth, like, the game is PvP wise, it never really landed. It was never like we got a teammate, maybe? No idea what that is, though. But you guys know what I mean, right? Just be mean, being nice is overrated? Yeah. That's true, Soda, but in the context of making money from a channel, from what I've realized, you kind of have to walk that line at least a little bit. At least a minimum. You basically have to act as if you were really in society, you know what I mean? You can't just act as if you're online. Sorry, Mr. Mark. Don't know the name. Yeah, obviously, so that I don't insult people, like, out of the blue, like, for no fucking reason. I mean, it did happen a few times, but that's usually for being upset. But yeah, like, it's not exactly like you said, you know, it's not like you start insulting people randomly. Like, it's usually, like, they say some dumb shit, and you're like, holy shit, like, maybe another one of these. And you're like, nope, you're an idiot. And then they get even more upset, and the sensitive viewers get upset on the behalf of the stupid person, you know what I mean? So it's crazy stuff. I remember that two-hour legendary invasion from Dark Souls 3, full bow glitch, etc. The most satisfying ending? Yeah. Actually learned from insults in video game, from your teammates' complaints. Sensitivity gatekeeping. I mean, you know, you look at the polar opposite of me, right? In Souls, I mean, it's obviously Chase, because Chase never really says, like, anything bad, at least, like, publicly on his channel. Like, it's really, like, as PG as it gets. Like, it almost gets, like, nauseating. Like, to hear, like, you know, like, how empty and fucking, like, brain dead the comments is sometimes, but there's a reason why that approach has success, though. Empathy, such pathetic, pitiful creatures. Hey, if we learn something, it's also, like, Still is sort of emulating what Chase is doing, too. Like, if you watch Still content evolve over time and look at it now, I mean, he's obviously trying to emulate what Chase is doing, you know, for the obvious reason that what Chase is doing is working. And it seems to be working for Steel as well, so, I mean, clearly, being mindlessly positive will attract people, even whether it's fake or not. A lot of people can't even tell, or they don't even want to believe it. Heck, I would argue, like, if you ask the person making the content, maybe they don't want to even believe it themselves, you know? Like, you know what I mean? Like you add, like, you know, I'm not saying that's Chase, but, like, imagine, like, asking someone who's basically, like, putting on a facade, but they don't realize it themselves, you know what I mean? Like that could be it too. Still dabs a little in the toxic, which you appreciate. I mean, you can't take the tryhard out of Steel. Watching bubble wrapped Walmart personally is no fun. Steel is Jay's biggest fan. Oh yeah, for sure. But I mean, you know, the whole fan thing. Like, the reason why I started the PvP in Dark Souls 3, like the PvP channel, was because Chase had already done the template. Like, you know, like, Chase was already successful at putting out vids, like, successful YouTube vids for Dark Souls 3, so I didn't, like, start in a vacuum. Like, I started because Chase had some success, and so he laid out the groundwork for us, really. That's what it comes down to, so... You know, you could say that all the Souls content creators are Chase fans. I'm sure Chase... I mean, I'm sure... I don't know if Chase started watching someone else and tried to, you know, do what he did because he saw another person do it. But I know for a fact, though, that back in Dark Souls 3, like, you watch my gameplay and then you watch Chase gameplay, and Chase gameplay basically evolved, like, watching my stuff. And, like, either watching other people that were watching my stuff as well. But I know he was watching my stuff because at some point he plagiarized, like, one vid. Like, I had done, like, a full stream, like, talking about inventories, and then a few days later he basically, like, almost word for word, like plagiarized the whole vid without giving any credit. So I know he's always been, like, watching this stuff. What about Oro? Didn't that dude get popular early on? I mean, Oro and Peeve are, like, have been doing, like, Soul stuff since the very beginning. They're, like, icons at this point. Like, FromSoft invites them to, like, every event. Alright, I think we're gonna move out of this. I don't know who this teammate is or where they are, so... Just gonna move on from this. But you talk to any of these guys outside of the, you know, the Souls umbrella, like, they're all great people, like, you know. It's just that, you know, a lot of us disagree on a lot of things, and sometimes, you know, you can have some heated discussions, like the last time Peeve had a terrible take, you know, like, obviously, like, you know, you saw, like, Peeve throwing shade at the tryhards and stuff like that, but it doesn't make him a bad person or anything. Like, you know, I do the same thing, you know, I throw shade at them when I think they're, like, very, very wrong, so there's no harm there, really. But I think one of the issue is, like, a lot of their viewers would like to pretend that they get thrown shit, like, you know, they get thrown shade at and they don't do it themselves, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes people pick their favorite and then their favorite is, like, good in every way, and they never do anything wrong, which is obviously not true. They're in the boss room. Why the main weapon in the offense? It's because it allows switching. It allows switching easier, like, to make it short. I've explained this, like, 1,000 times, but, like, when you make an inventory, like, look at my setup here. It'd be easier to explain if I do that. Look at my setup here. I have, like, the Great Bow as a quick swap. I have Flame Strike as a quick swap. I have, like, Halberd Running as a quick swap. I have Ender as a quick swap. So you see all these quick swaps, and they're all, or they were all put there for a reason. I don't really use them much anymore because my gameplay, like, has changed a little bit, and I need to change my inventory. But all in all, the inventory was created to account for all of that. But I use a bunch of different weapons, so, you know, if I had, best way to explain it is, you know, I'm using this weapon right now. I'm using the the blood warp axe with endure. So if I want to have access to the same swaps I just showed you, look at that. I have none of that close to me in my inventory. And so in order to have that closer, I made the inventory around the shield instead, because it doesn't matter if I'm using the blood axe or if I'm using, you know, the claw. I have access to the same swaps, the same quick swaps. So it gives access to your swaps no matter which weapon you're two-handing. So that's another thing I came up with, and it's one of the thing I never really changed back to like main handling of the weapon. Like the offhand is very good for that. If you set up an inventory, you can have like your swaps all set up around like one thing, usually like a back shield. And that's what you do, right? You set up the inventory for a few shields or a few like back pocket weapon. Like for instance, if I want to do it, I also have it like set up around the Waki, but it's all the same swaps. That's useful. Obviously though, the downside is if you would be using like a power stance setup, you can't do that. Which is why like back when I made this inventory, I was still PSGS main, so I had like a setup built around like PSGS like that. That was like basically for the Great Spear. But, you know, if I had to redo this now, which I'm going to do with Tarnished Edition, the inventory is going to be pretty different. I'm thinking that I will probably try to make like one-page inventories instead of a bunch of pages. And then like, because like really at the end of the day, what you need is like, you need your tryhard stuff and whatever weapon you're trying to showcase that day. And so I don't need to have like every single thing. Like it's not really necessary. It does open up more flexibility, but at the end of the day, like if you want to win something, you're gonna gravitate toward like some of the same weapons either way. So, and also having a one-page inventory makes some of the swapping more fluid, because you know you only have one page to manage. Whereas like right now, if I want to swap to this, for instance, like that's a lot of input just to change my back shield, which does hurt me from time to time if I do like tryhard duels. Like I get hit like here and there because my swaps take too long because the inventory's too wide. So I hope that answers your question. Yeah, it's more optimal if you're two-handing your weapon. If you're two-handing your weapon, you're swapping. It is a more optimal way to go about it, because that way you can have a bunch of weapons that are in no particular like order, that have no swaps available, but you still have always your same swaps available at all times. So even though right now I don't really use them as much, because like I said, like my playstyle, the things I use have changed a little bit. So when I do it, I'll be remaking an inventory with like some different swaps probably. Would you do an updated inventory vid? Yeah, I'll probably do that when Tarnished Edition drops. The reason why I'm waiting for Tarnished is that Tarnished introduces the new classes that are more optimal than the class we have now. That means that we're going to be forced to make new builds anyway, right? And so that's a perfect opportunity to just remake the build there, because if I do it now for this character, I'm going to have to do it all over again when Tarnished Edition drops, because we're going to get the new better classes. Yeah, it's optimal to southpaw weapons that are not that heavy. Yeah, because like for instance, if let's say you're using like two-handed well, let's pick Clean Rot. Clean Rot is like 4 units. So let's say you want to swap the Great Bow because you want to get a Great Bow shot. Well, technically, like the optimal setup for Clean Rot would be to have the icon shield on your back, but if you were to revert that and use it the normal way of doing things, you know? And now if I want to swap the Great Bow, let's just say I'm using this here. I want to swap the Great Bow. Now I'm overweight because I have the full weight of the 11 unit shield plus the Great Bow, so I'm fat rolling if I'm swapping to Great Bow that way. Whereas if you invert that, it's the same setup right now, but they're inverted. And now when I have the Great Bow, I'm not fat rolling because I have the back pocket TS. And also you still keep your weapon like close to you as well, so you can't like get caught flat-footed, you know, without any weapon. So it's more useful. Yo, Witnix, thanks for the 5 gifted, man. You've been out of the loop. I mean, you're not really missing out on anything. Like, it's like I said, it's Elden Ring was kind of a miss PvP wise. It never caught on as much, you know. Witnex, thank you so much, by the way. I really appreciate that, man. So yeah, Tarnished Edition coming out on... the game was created for... Oh. That's not what I wanted. Alright, oh, invasion's over. So like Tarnished Edition was created for the Switch, but every other platform is gonna have that update available when it drops, or I don't know if it's a paid update or if it's going to be like a free update, but we're getting like 2 new classes, like 3 or 4 new weapons, 3 or 4 new armors, some horse skins. I think that's about it. But because it introduces new, better starting classes, it's going to force people to replay the game with those new starting classes. So one of the big things that's going to come with Tarnished Edition is those new classes plus the added activity that's going to come from it, right? Because you're going to have a lot of people coming back to replay the game with the new classes. And so activity is going to spike back up for a little while. So I'm expecting like activity to pick up once Tarnished Edition drops. So that's going to be good for us, you know, like it's always nice to get some activity. We'll add 6-player limit and remove Phantom Range, bro. The remove Phantom Range is the best part. Remove Phantom Range. That's funny. The player limit killed PvP? Yeah, I would say so. For the most part, I think that's what hurt the game the most. I think it was the player limit. Because it killed the dynamic that existed before, right? It killed fight clubs. It killed team invasions. It killed, like, all the tribal activities that existed. And the arena maps suck too, like. Oh. Attack. Attack me. There you go. Oh, come on, not a flame strike. Just keep spamming. Like, ultimately, they killed the dueling dynamic and they killed the invasion dynamic. And so you can't have a flourishing PvP if you kill basically the 2 main PvP activities, right? And both of these things ultimately got killed by the lower player limit. The lower player limit makes it so that an invader getting ganked 3v1 cannot get any help. Whereas before, like, you could always get fights to a 2v3. And basically the play back in Dark Souls 3, if you were getting ganked by 3 people, the play was not to kill them. The play was to survive until you had another invader in there. And so it was 2v3. And then when it was 2v3, the play was basically one invader needs to... Or actually, the play was to split the gankers so that one invader is in a 1v1 and one invader is in a 1v2. The job for the invader that's in a 1v2 was to survive, and the job for the invader that was in a 1v1 was to win his 1v1. And so, even though you were always at a numbers disadvantage, your path to victory was always involved, like, making the fight even into a 1v1. Even in an invasion setting, the play was to set up the invasion so that you get your chance to separate someone and 1v1 them. And it was possible because the player limit made the mat numbers work. You know, like, from 1v3, you wait for a teammate. Okay, 2v3. Okay, now you need to separate them so that it's a 1v1 and a 1v2. And so if the person doing the 1v2 died, well, the person doing the 1v1 had a little bit of time maybe to finish and get his kill, or they would have to run away, survive, and then it would start back again. And so, like, you'd constantly be, like, waiting for new invaders, and the same way the gankers had the same thing going, you know, like, when the gankers would have someone dead, it went into a 2v2, and so the gankers would run away to resummon their friend that was dead, and so the invaders would need to hurry up and win the 2v2 before the new gankers got resummoned. And so that was the dynamic, and so you saw invasions with a lot of resummons, a lot of invaders resummoned in the world, a lot of gankers getting resummoned, and it kept the game, like, very chaotic and very, like, involved, basically. Whereas right now, if you're fighting a 1v3, obviously you're not gonna fucking win a 1v3. It's completely ridiculous. Like, you can't do that. That's high skill gameplay right here. And so, like, you know, you can't just win a 1v3 like that, especially if the people you're fighting know what they're doing. And you're gonna need to kite forever, and you can't really ever attack back. And so the moment you're facing people that have a little bit of an understanding about the PvP, your chances of winning are almost null. Like, you can always get lucky, like, you know, everyone can get lucky, and any ganker can play, like, stupid and get themselves killed. Like, it, you know, we've seen it happen, but for the most part, it's completely lopsided with no, like, clear path to victory. And so invasions in Elden Ring feel completely pointless because you're ultimately at the mercy of if the gankers want to really win badly or not. Because, you know, right nowadays, like, people that still gank, so to speak, in this game, they don't really gank because they also do understand this dynamic, and so they set up, like, 2v2s. And so, like, it's them and their friend, and then they try to, you know, they try to sneak in as many advantages as they can with, like, sticking close to each other, like rune arc, no friendly fire, but ultimately it's not the same type of advantage that used to exist. And the reason why they don't, you know, summon, like, a third person, or they don't necessarily gank 2v1, although some do, is that it's so one-sided that it feels pointless. And so even the gankers have realized that, and they've stopped, like, kind of caring, really. And so you don't really see, like, gankers nowadays in this game. Content farming aside, almost nobody plays for that constant feeling of injustice, knowing you're getting no help in a 3v1. It just gives you hopelessness, and in the long run, it's going to get you tired. Oh, that is so on point. That's a very good comment. Because, you know, you hear a lot of people saying that invasions were never fair, they were never meant to be fair. People complaining, don't understand invasions. It's the other way around. Like, invasions were never fair, no. But they were fair in the sense that if you were a lot better than your opposition, you could consistently come out on top with smart and good plays. And you had a path to victory. Again, like, now it's not about being unfair, it's about being unwinnable. You know what I mean? Like, you know, if you ask me to... Let's do a stupid comparison, an extreme one real quick, right? You know? Like, if you ask me to kill, like, a boss, right? Like, oh, you know, it's not fair, the boss has more health than me, you know? But if you play well, you can still, like, kill the boss. But if you ask me to kill this brick here, I can't kill it. It's impossible. Like, it's not taking any damage. And so, that's an extreme example, but that's basically it here. Like, back in Dark Souls 3, like, it was like you were asked a lot to beat your opponents, but it was doable. Like, here, like, you're basically asked to do something you can't really realistically do. That's the difference. Like, they're meant to be challenging, but they're not meant to be, like, impossible to win either. Like, completely impossible. And so that's one of the big issue for PvP. And then same thing for duels. Duels also has a few issues, but for the most part, what kept the dueling community so alive and flourishing even late into Dark Souls 3 was that you always had this pipeline of new players that were getting introduced to the PvP scene through fight clubs. Because ultimately what would happen is, if you were fighting in the arena, it was just, you know, one fight, and then that's it, it's over. One fight, it's over. Whereas with fight clubs, you're getting summoned, and then there's like 5 people in that lobby, and like, you know, you're gonna get like 3 people up top, like sitting, watching some other dude fight. And then the person who loses gets killed, and obviously they're gone from the world, but you're still watching the winner beat the next person. And so you're watching the other guy get killed, and you're watching like the other guy get killed, and now it's your turn, and oh, maybe like you saw how, like the mistakes of the people that came before, and so you tried to do something different, and maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, but it makes it so that, oh, you get resummoned in that same fight club again, you recognize the people that got beaten just like you, and then you start like forming a bond with them, and then let's say you both try to beat whoever is still standing in there. Or the other way around, you know, like you become the victor, and then you just keep on like beating new players, and you recognize name. All in all, this whole fight club thing did a very good job at, one, fostering like new players to come in here and be interested in the PvP, even though they were not necessarily as good. And two, it did a pretty good job at teaching them how to play, because you're not just fighting someone in the arena and losing if you're new at the game, right? You're coming in there and you're watching players that are better than you, and then you see like how they win or how they lose and what they're doing specifically. And then you're basically adjusting your play. Alright, let's focus on this one. I'm feeling some bear claws. Oh. This guy is so latent that I escaped the true combo, but he also escaped mine. Hate my input there. Whoa, that's random. Stupid anime shit. Jesus Christ, dude. Okay, do that. Wrong bolus. Okay, kill this one. It's my swap. Okay, let's try a different approach. Oh, this guy is not helping me. Wow, alright. Fucking trash, dude. Get a teammate Rent to basically gank you there. I'm not sure what we could have done there to kill them quicker. Like, it felt like I tried like a trade into their stuff, but other than that, it didn't feel like we really had any openings to do more damage than we did. Maybe in Durpada, I guess. Yo, Merry Christmas, Brenna. Ironically, though, this Mesper Spear is something that I want to play with when we make new builds. Like, I want to like set up a build so that we can like use it with like optimal stats for it. Because it has some insane hyper armor on this attack. Like, it's a very strong attack. Yo, Kondu. Guys, Kondu and I used to pedal on the same tricycle. I don't know if you believe it or not, but... And Kondu and I have always gotten along pretty well. Oh, he didn't get hit. Evan just had to click the door, but he didn't know. Frost Gogs is another one of these like really good invasion weapon. Even though it might not be the best for 1v1s, it has some very nice burst damage. Like very often you can kill people in 3 hits with the Frost proc. And obviously, you know, you get the Colossal Life Armor, so you can like put pressure against people that otherwise you would not be able to pressure them. Brings a lot of utility in team fights with the Frost proc too. Yeah, when you have like other damage sources, obviously like a frosted opponent might not necessarily be like optimal for you, but for your team, when your teammate does more damage to them also, it starts to make a lot more sense. Because even if they cure the frost, right? Like the frost procs happen so fast with this. You basically get frosted in like 2 hits or 3 hits. You're not resisting like 3 hits for frost. Not with Chilling Mist like that. And so like even if they heal the frost, they're gonna get frosted right back for sure. What's the best weapon for invasions? I will say for invasions, I think the best weapon is Sword Lance. I think Sword Lance is the best invasion weapon. Because Sword Lance has a 2R2 kill anyone type combo. Obviously has really nice jump attacks. For invasion, it's just a very strong pick. There's other good ones though, like obviously TS can be very useful, but TS is not like the all and be all for every situation. But you do need to use TS if your opponents are using TS, basically. Doors shut, yeah. I'm not even sure I want to give these guys the attention for today, like... I kind of get a kick out of, you know, just watching them, like, wait for the whole stream so that they can fight me and then, you know, just back out. Just so that they can sit on their previous L's for Christmas, because these guys are still pretty good, like, you know, as much as we meme on them, like, these guys are pretty good, and if I don't have, like, a good teammate, it's going to be very difficult to win that. And I don't care as much about losing as I care about them sitting on a loss for Christmas. Because I know they care about it, that's why, you know? Like, I know for them, like, they care about it. You know, they wouldn't be sitting here like every other stream if they didn't care about it. You know what? Let's do that. Let's do that. That's a good running. No, let's actually switch that to this. What? Oh, okay. Really quickly, I'm kind of curious to know like what's in these rooms. If I have anywhere to back up, definitely not there. We're still here. Are Scrubs always afraid to aggress 3v1? Well, because of that ledge here. Oh, come on. I mean, we can't really do more than that against like 3 people waiting for us in a cave. Like, the plays are heavily limited. What we're doing is the only thing we can do. Frame trap between the 2 attacks. dagger. No, come on. Oh, really? Stupid controller, dude. Gave me this weird fucking sideway jump. I'm not really sure why. That's not what I inputted. No, that's unfortunate. I felt like we were winning that. I'm dead. This guy took a lot of damage. Oh, laggy host. Very laggy too. Actually scary. Oh, that's bad. Myself the fat roll here. Okay. And that laggy host is a problem. Oh wow, we took damage fucking late, what the fuck? Insane growth. The net in this game is terrible. Insane. I mean, there's really no play here. It's like insane lock on. I mean, I have to panic roll because the host is just so damn laggy that you can't really know like when you're gonna get hit or not. Jesus shit, Ned, bro, what the fuck? This is so sad, dude. This game is so bad. Actually, 8 mine right there. much poise do we have if we do that? Okay, more than enough. Well. Alright guys, I'm gonna do a last one. right. Alright guys, everyone in chat, wish you happy holidays, Merry Christmas to you guys. I'll catch you probably after Christmas, probably. Alright guys, take it easy everyone. Have a good one.